So my definition of global mobility is really, the act of helping an individual or an individual and his or her family move from one country to another. I know that there is a lot of domestic relocations, but my experience is primarily cross-border movements. So it's anything and everything that entails immigration, tax, pensions, social securities, banking, housing, shipment of goods. The act of helping somebody or somebody in their family move from one location to another. And so I think it's a very middle woman, humanistic, empathetic role that requires a lot of active communication and active listening, because you're helping somebody through perhaps one of the most stressful yet exciting times of their lives.
I think global mobility is something where you look at what an individual's needs are, if they are moving to another country, if they are requiring immigration support, if they are going on assignment. And so the global mobility specialist is really the individual that is that central point to help all of those pieces come together. So making sure that we always say in our company that when somebody is moving to another location, we generally are moving internal employees and not necessarily brand new employees. So they're employees that have already been there and they're expected to hit the ground running when they go into the new role. So the global mobility specialist is really there to help support that entire process so that that individual can be successful in their new position and they're able to hit the ground running and make sure that, as much as possible, moving and visas and all of these things are super stressful. So having that kind of central person that can help coordinate and make sure everything's on the right track is really important to the success of that individual and then ultimately the company's, success in hiring people in different locations and people who require visas.
Global mobility to me is a strategic tool that companies use, whether it be a hiring manager, the talent organization, or leaders, to mobilize the talent that they need to be in certain locations. So for us, for instance, in our organization, we may be needing skills in a certain geography. And when you find appropriate candidates to move into that geography, we may have to offer some kind of assistance to get them there, whether it be a relocation package or an expatriate package. So to me, it really is a strategic tool that can be used to get the talent where we need it to be.
Global mobility to business.
Global mobility to the business is vital. For a business that thrives on hiring and maintaining talent around the world, global mobility is a very, very vital function to the organization. Global mobility ensures and helps talent place talent where they need to be so that they can do the job that they need to do to ensure a company's success. So to the business, it's an extremely vital function.
Global mobility to the business is a great opportunity to expand the diversity within their teams, bring talent not only for the pool of the own country, but also from abroad, to make sure it can actually also be a tool of reward, to make sure talent are satisfied and talents are trained to the extent of other departments or other areas as well, not only in the same country, but in other branches, other areas of the business and the world as well. So sometimes it's considered as a cost, but I think that the return on investment is much higher than the actual cost of assignment.
Mobility is really about making international work. Now, today, modern workforce, modern companies, it's clear that mobility definitely is the backbone of any international business. And we're helping basically the companies to connect the talent with the opportunities that happen to be, across the border. So we do that. At the same time, of course, our mandate interestingly does include to help keeping the companies and the employees on the right side of the law. So that's an important part of our work. And interestingly enough, I've been with mobility for quite some time. So I've seen this, for me, a very historic shift where from primarily, let's say, compliance-driven function, we've evolved into this position today where I would say, are considered to be a truly strategic enabler for the business.
So global mobility to the business is an area of opportunity for expansion of the company. So a lot of companies like to expand their business into new countries, and global mobility plays a critical role in that expansion. There's also an opportunity for global mobility to be seen by the business as a partner in strategic development of their employees across the world.
Global mobility is moving its workforce across borders to achieve organizational goals and also to drive performance growth and to leverage the diverse pool that is available on a global scale.
I think it really depends on the business. For a contract-driven business like government contracting, it's often about filling a position. For more of a commercial product-driven business, it's a way to develop their leadership talent and gain sort of a diversity of ideas. I think one of the key points when it comes to global mobility in the business is many times they can see global mobility as an adversary, and to kind of overcome that adversarial relationship, I think it's really important to have an open dialogue and educate the business on what it takes to do business overseas so that you can turn that no into a yes when they come to you for advice and guidance.